I think that climbing is somehow both very accessible and very inaccessible. On one hand, you have probably one of the better communities in a sport that I've ever seen. People are generally accepting. Everyone's really cool and trying to help each other out. But at the same time, it's expensive. It's like you have to buy a pair of shoes, you have to get a gym membership. The barrier to entry is already a couple $100s. And on top of that, you have the basic stuff from most outdoor sports where it's like you don't really see a person of color. There's a very skewed demographic and stuff like that. I mean, it's definitely changing, especially with so many different people doing the sport now. But I think it's interesting how it's like you can have probably one of the best communities in the sport, or of the sport, and also have kind of this like high barrier to entry and kind of lack of representation at the same time. I started climbing around like 3 years ago at the end of my sophomore year of college. Basically, some dude in my lecture like climbed a lot. We were lab partners at one point, so after we finished the lab, he was like, "Oh, want to come climbing with me after?" I had no idea what I was doing. I mean, I feel like that's kind of the general experience, you know? But I remember the gym that I went to, it was like a little local gym, and they had this whole big thing about making the top outs like really hard, and the walls were like 20 feet tallish at the highest point. So it's like I got up this V1 because they were like trying to lead you into it, and then I got to the very top and there were no more holds, and the move was like, you know, it's like I was on this jug and there's like a foot that they want to give you, and like it should be a high foot rock over, but then I totally didn't know what that meant or what I was doing, so I just like pulled my stomach onto the hold and just started scraping it up and like totally beach whaled, and I was just freaking out. And then I got to the top and I like lied down for like a good 2 minutes after. The moment when I knew that I wanted to get good at bouldering was probably the second time that I went to Yosemite. So the first time I went, we went to Tuolumne Meadows, and it was summer and it was greasy and I had no idea what I was doing. The second time, it was like cold, and we decided to head to the valley and go to Camp 4, and I still had no idea what I was doing, but I got completely shut down that time by this V2 that I thought was really cool. And I think at that point I just thought like, well, I want to at least be able to do this. And just kind of cascaded from there. I saw 4 and I was like, I want to be able to do this 4. And I saw Midnight Lightning and I was like, holy shit, I want to do Midnight Lightning, you know? So I think that's the moment when I was like, I wanted to get really good. So it was about a year into my climbing when I totally tore my ACL while skiing, and I was definitely ready to quit and not go through the whole rehab process behind it. But then I was like walking around the gym and just hanging around and like talking to my friends and stuff, and then this like random girl asked me, how do I do this like volume problem? And I was like, I can't do this right now. I could try my best. And then it turns out that she would be like my climbing partner for like the next 2 years. I still ended up climbing because I had someone to like help motivate me, so it was kind of cool. Right now, I want to focus on bouldering and sport climbing for at least like the next 2 years. I mean, it's always nice to like say grades and stuff like that, but it's hard to tell where I'll be, but I think it'd be super sick to get like a 13 within a year. I'm not even close, but I think it'd be really cool.
it again, she said without any doubt, you know I want you.
I definitely viewed climbing more as like a lifestyle sport, and I primarily boulder a lot for the community. But, at the end of the day, whatever makes it fun for you.